For many years, League One has been thought to be a farmers' league by PSG that only they can win it. But what if I told you before PSG there was another champion?
No way!
Yes, that is right, guys. Today we are doing Saint Etienne, which is located in Avengers Rhino Apples. I don't know, that's the best pronunciation you're getting from me. Sadly, they have fallen off the season and they are currently lying in 17th place, just out of the relegation zone. And in this video, I will be making a squad and I want you guys to tell me if this team could actually end up in like a top 6 place. But guys, Saint Etienne actually has the most League One titles in France out of any other team, even more than PSG. PSG has only really been dominant over the last decade. And in this video, we will be talking about their best former team, or the best team that possible that they could have with current and former players. Normally, in this kind of video, I only do former players, but in this video, I will include some current ones to make it the best team possible. Now, all the former players must still be playing football currently. So let's jump into this. As it is Finia, that is FYNN. Once again, just want to thank you so much for the recent support on this channel. We're actually getting closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers. So if you do enjoy it, please do subscribe to this channel. Let's go. In the goalkeeper position, it is none other than the current Saint Etienne goalkeeper. It is Ruffian. Yes, the man who looks like Dr. Eggman from Sonic. I mean, come on, that's uncanny. He has only gotten 3 appearances for the national team France. He has spent 6 years at Monaco prior to his move to Saint Etienne, and he has now been there for 9 years, which is almost a decade, which is such a long time. 303 league appearances for them. I don't think they would prefer any other man in that spot. I mean, he's been an absolute legend for the team. And many years ago, before he made that move to Saint Etienne, when he was still at Monaco, there were talks about him moving to Manchester City, which, I mean, is that not totally weird to think that maybe he could have played for City instead of Mr. Head & Shoulders himself?
Head & Shoulders Itchy Scalp Care Shampoo with eucalyptus extract.
Well, yeah, that is a bit weird, but he was worried that he wouldn't have that much game time there, so I think he made the right choice with that. Without a doubt. In the right back position, we actually have a player who normally plays centre back, but for this video, I will allow it. It is Kurt Zouma. Guys, I have the most shocking thing to tell you. Kurt Zouma is 25 years old. When did that happen? I swear he was 22 just the other day. So it's quite insane that he's already in his mid-20s, but he's won 2 Premier Leagues with Chelsea, which is so weird to think that they loaned him out after that. I mean, he was such a good player, helped them win the Premier League, then all of a sudden they just loan him out to, well, Saint Etienne for one. They also loaned him out to Stoke along with Everton. At the end of the day, I think he did do so well at Chelsea. He shouldn't have been loaned out, and he hasn't had that strong a comeback at Chelsea yet. Maybe he can prove himself. But he did, of course, as well. He won the Under-20 World Cup with France, but never really made it a strong impact on the senior team. He was at Saint Etienne through their academy, though, in his younger years, and along with loan, obviously, as I said. Okay, we get to the first centre-back in this list, and I'm not going to lie, the centre-back that I, of course, looked up the best former players on the internet, and the one that was suggested was someone called Boysa, Basa, something like that.
I'm all about that bass.
I can't pronounce it, I do apologize. But you know what, I looked at the stats and he's just really played for smaller clubs. He hasn't achieved anything big in my opinion. I think that I would prefer to go for someone who's a younger player and who's still at Saint Etienne. I am going to go for the young Saliba. I think that is how you pronounce it. He has represented France from the age of under-16s all the way to under-20s. He is on loan from Arsenal, and in my eyes is a better representation of how strong the club is rather than this other player. So I am going to have to go for Saliba. He is only 19 years old, and I think he could potentially provide a huge impact in the club in the future. The second centre-back in this list is going to be none other than their current centre-back as well, another current player, Perrin, who, I mean, is a very, very good player overall, I do have to say. I mean, he's been there for years and years. Sadly, has never represented France in the senior level, but has been in the academy since 1997 and has been in that senior team since 2003, guys. I was 2 years old when he joined their senior team, and at the end of the day, almost 400 appearances for Saint Etienne. I think he will go down as a legend for the club. Last defender we do have on this list is going to be Golem from Napoli. I mean, he's had such a good career. I mean, he's a bit older than what I thought. He is 29 years old, and he has been heavily linked to some of the bigger clubs in Europe. He has been linked to teams like Manchester United, which would have been a huge move for him. But 29 years old, not really that style of football anymore because United are looking for younger players. But I mean, he has got an Algerian Player of the Year, which is a very good achievement considering they do have players like Riyad Mahrez. Also, 35 appearances for Algeria is not bad at all, and 126 appearances in the starting lineup for Napoli has proven how good he really is, playing along the lines of Koulibaly at Napoli, obviously. He did spend 4 years at Saint Etienne, and I think this just proves how strong the defense could have been at Saint Etienne. Guys, these are the defenders. You can tell me how you think they would still currently do at the club. Okay, so we get into the midfield of this position. There are 3 midfielders I'm going to choose from. I'm sorry I have to read this name off because the first one is going to be 29-year-old Gaila Vergu. I don't know, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry. He is the current captain of Wolfsburg in Germany, which is quite cool to think he's played along the likes of players like Kevin De Bruyne and Mario Gomez, which are some really, really good players overall. Along with that, he has actually played at clubs like Atletico Madrid, which obviously he didn't have a great career there because no one really knows about it. 4 years at Saint Etienne as well, along with the fact that he's actually won 1 or 2 side trophies in Germany. I think he's a very good, accomplished midfielder. Almost 30 years old, but I think he's pretty happy with the choices that he has made. And at the end of the day, he has had 7 appearances for the French national team, which as a midfielder has to be insanely tough to make. So, I mean, even though he's not still playing for the French national team, I do have to say that that's a huge accomplishment with the midfielders they have. We get to the second player in the midfield for Saint Etienne if they had their best players, and another former player, guys, and this might be one of the most accomplished players on this list by a landslide. It is Blaise Matuidi. I mean, Blaise Matuidi's had a career and a half, almost 100 appearances for France, 84. I mean, that is an amazing career. One of the most expensive transfers in the history of a player over the age of 30 because he did move from PSG to Juventus. He was very good at PSG. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended off his career in the French league once again. But yeah, Juventus, PSG, obviously he's won multiple titles at PSG, obviously winning the league multiple times. Juventus, he's won the league a few times now. I mean, look, he's not going to win the Champions League, sadly, because, I mean, Juventus just has never really had luck in the Champions League in recent years, and same to PSG. But at the end of the day, as I said, Matuidi is a great player, and recently in 2015, he did get Player of the Year, or French Player of the Year, which, once again, huge achievement for such a strong national team. And I mean, let's just not forget that he is a World Cup winner. I mean, top marks, mate, top marks. The next player, of course, I can't really put his FIFA card there because his card's not on FIFA because he's currently playing in the Brazilian league. So I'll put his one from the Chinese league last season. It is going to be, I believe his name, I really hope his name is pronounced Garin. I think that's how you pronounce it. He spent 2 years when he was at Saint Etienne. He did spend a year there on loan, then made an official transfer, but he has played for some huge clubs. I mean, of course, majority of the things he did win was at one of his first clubs, Porto in Portugal. He won the Europa League and the Super Cup at Porto, which is obviously a huge achievement, and he has played for Inter Milan. Those are some huge clubs. He obviously, as I just said, played in China. He played for one of the Shanghai clubs and is now in Brazil. At the end of the day, those are some big, big clubs, and he's won, I believe it is the Chinese FA Cup. Along with that, he's done well nationally. 54 appearances for his nation, Colombia, is not bad by any means over 9 years. I just realized I always just look like a composer when making these videos, moving my hands. Oh well, I have fun doing it anyway, it doesn't matter. Guys, looking back at the midfield, these are the midfielders. It does look absolutely insane. Let's get into the attack. Okay guys, now believe it or not, the attack is actually the best part about it, and it is beyond mental. We get to the right wing, and it is going to be a player who's won London Player of the Year and Europa League most assists. It is Dimitri Payet, yes, the man who was at West Ham himself for 48 appearances over 2 years with 11 goals. I think he was a legend at West Ham, but I think when he moved, West Ham fans probably weren't the biggest fan of him. But at the end of the day, he has had an amazing career. Spent many, many years at Marseille, but yeah, obviously at Saint Etienne, that is a huge achievement overall. Also 38 appearances for France, which once again, if you're an attacking midfielder or winger, which Payet can be either one, that is a huge achievement because that's always a packed position. But yeah, he has performed really well this season for Marseille. And I'm sure, you know, Saint Etienne looks back at a tiny bit and be like, I kind of miss him. Our striker in this team is going to be, I can't pronounce his first name, it just looks like it's a buffet table, so that's what I'm going for. Gomez, who has done so incredibly well. He is now playing in the Saudi League. He is known for his notorious Panther celebration. I mean, this man has had a beast of a career. He did well with Swansea, and he did help them get promoted to the Premier League when they went. He has been the Asian Champions League Player of the Year. He has also been the Asian Champion League MVP, which is a huge achievement. He, as I said, has played for the likes of Swansea. He is playing in Saudi Arabia. He has also played for the likes of Galatasaray, which of course, as I said, a very good career overall. He's actually a beast of a striker, and he's actually got more than a handful of appearances for the French national team. For, as I said, for a French striker, that is very impressive. He has also played for Lyon in the French league, which, as I said, very impressive. 12 appearances for the French national team. And lots of people might actually forget that he's actually spent 5 years at Saint Etienne, and he's actually a very good, accomplished striker right now. He is 34 years old, which people forget. But you know what, at the end of the day, as I said, very, comfortable career. And then you get to the left wing position, which is probably the best player in this entire list. I mean, Pitbull, get out the way. You are not Mr. Worldwide. It is going to be Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, an absolute beast of a player, 30 years old, currently playing for Arsenal, but has been linked away recently because Arsenal aren't doing that well. So, you know what, the 30-year-old can make a definite huge move, but he did start his senior career at Milan. He could have actually played for the French national team, but chose to play for Gabon instead, which of course I would say he's probably the best Gabon player of all time. Do you guys think if he played for France that he would fit into the starting lineup? Vote in the I thingy up above. But beyond that, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has played for some huge clubs. As I said, he's played for, and obviously Saint Etienne, and I think he definitely made his name when he was at Borussia Dortmund, where he has been Bundesliga Player of the Year, he's been African Player of the Year, he's been top scorer in the Bundesliga, and he's even been the Golden Boot winner in the biggest competition in the world, which is the Premier League. So you know what, as I said, probably the best player on this list, an absolute beast of a player. As I said, unfortunately, he has not won any major trophies, and I don't know if that will happen at Arsenal, but at the end of the day, I think he's very proud of what he has accomplished. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Tell me, because obviously you need to be in the top 4 to qualify for Euros in League 1, do you think this team could qualify for the Euros or even the Champions League? Vote in the I thingy up above. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and share so I can reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. Once again, click on my icon down below, whichever side it is, so you can subscribe. I do love every single one of you. I do appreciate you guys. And tell me what club you want me to do next in the comment section down below. This has been Finn, FYNN. Love all of you. Stay awesome. Cheers.